We're here with Daniel Mary from the radio.
Daniel Mary, the man with the plan, the absolute best DJ on the Gulf South. Absolutely awesome. Gulf South grown, Alt 92.3. Love you, dude. It's freaking awesome to have you on the show. So stoked to have you here.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. You made me sound way cooler than I actually am, so
I don't know, man. I don't know. You put it out there, and also, man, you're such a positive dude. I love that.
Thanks,
people really dig your vibe, and you just, I know a lot is of that is ensued in your name. Also, being merry all the time, and but it shows, man. It's awesome, and it's you have a very feel good thing going. And that's great to have these days.
Oh, bro, I appreciate that. This is a verbal hug right now. We're hugging.
It's all spiritual, and we're in there.
Yeah, look, man, I've been told before I'm too positive, and there's something wrong with him. He's too positive. Guess what? I've had a crazy-ass life. It hasn't been the best, and I can either sit there and sulk about it, or I can be like, hey, it happened, but on to the next one, man, and that's the path that I choose, It's
that's
not
awesome.
that I'm overly positive. It's just that I choose positivity over just sulking in sadness. Fuck that.
What good does that do, Like, how do you get from A to B whenever you're worried about, everything coming down and killing you, and you're depressed? I understand that it's a battle to fight, but the way you're approaching it is the best, because that energy you put out is positive and it radiates into other people because you have a platform to do so, and that's killer, man. Definitely appreciate that.
And which is not the easiest thing to do, because as an artist, which, if people don't know you off air, they don't know that, you're a musician and other things that you're into. But as an artist, we have a tendency to find inspiration in the darker moments of life.
Correct.
But where we get stuck is getting stuck in that instead of finding the positive. And lately I've been very anxious. I've been a very anxious person. And Tyler can tell you it's been it's been a struggle. And I started microdosing recently on mushrooms. And I saw a lady online today, and it actually spoke to me, because she said, if this is the first time you're seeing me on TikTok, and of course it was TikTok because I'm addicted,
Hey, I'm getting close.
But she said, I love you. And you could ask, how can you love me? You've never even met me. And she said, if the world can spew so much hate and violence, I can spew that much love. And that really did mean something to me. And it said something to me because, in those times where you can find that darkness and you can stay there because it feels like home, doesn't make it right. And so to rise out of that and to be a better person and to help other, because it's like when Hey E-Rock, he's a TikTok famous guy from Luling, was on our show. And he said that people said, man, your positive attitude, sometimes I'm just going through something. You just don't know. You don't know who you touch in a day, even from little things you might say on the air throughout your broadcast.
You're so right, yeah.
It's true.
Honestly, that's some of the best feedback I get is when I'm like, wait, I said that? Oh, okay. I'm just feeling, dude. Like, people ask me all the time, it's like, are you really like that, how you are on the radio? Are you really like that in real life? I've been unapologetically me my entire life, and like you said earlier with my last name, I grew up hating my last name. Kidding me? Bro, I'm like, come on, dude.
Every Christmas joke.
Oh, come on, man.
Being in the hardcore scene.
Exactly. But, honestly, once I got out of middle school, right into high school, that was a part of my name. No one just called me Daniel. It was like, Daniel Mary. No matter what. So
you got the whole thing.
Yeah, whatever, dude. So what? Yeah, I am quite contrary, sir. I know I did not have any little lambs, but you can go, get out of here, bro.
I tell you what, though, I am jealous of the on-air sign. You got to get me one of those, man. We got a studio with no on-air sign?
Yeah, we're riding dirty. That ain't cool.
Man, shout out to my wife for that one, dude. She, I've been, broadcasting from home for the past year now, and she's like, this whole time you haven't had that. So she ordered it for me last August, something like that, and it just came in about a week ago.
Damn.
Yeah, Wish is a crazy place.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's from what's the other Pinterest?
Pinterest,
Yeah, so
Just as
somebody,
good.
I don't know, Egypt made it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they found it in the desert out there somewhere.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you now. Like, if I showed you the schematics from this thing, it's literally just a box with the plastic on-air sign. You could probably get printed anywhere with LED lights just strung all around it. That's it.
Man,
Simplicity.
If only we had a cricket.
yeah. If only we had everything to make that. An extra 20 minutes to do so.
That's badass, man.
But it's got to be way cooler to be able to do the show from home, man.
Been doing it for a year now, like I said. It's got its ups and downs, man. At first, you go from that room, soundproof walls, and a soundproof door. You've got the board in front of you. You've got multiple computer screens, and you're just like, you're working in radio. You're doing something. Like, this is a production. Here, it's like, I've got these. I had to invest a lot in myself. They were nice enough to loan me one of their broadcasting microphones, which thank God, because for the longest time I was using this. And it's great for what we're doing, but as far as broadcasting goes and having to run through processes and things like that, you miss out on the low end. And then now trying to get too technical, but I was like, all right, we got to do something different about it.
No, man.
Well, no, that's actually where we wanted to go, was on the technical side, because coming from, how is it differentiate between the analog and the digital, right? And that's what that's some of the things that people argue that you miss out on from the analog side once you lose that.
100%, man. There are so many moving parts when it comes to actual broadcasting. It's a whole different realm. Now, I learned recently that there are phones and broadcast microphones. I use the RE20, the Electro Voice. That's what we use in the studio. And man, you could scream the P letter all day, even without a mic screen, and it'll be completely fine.
No pop,
It's
no
got
nothing.
Wow.
No
vents
hiss.
on the side, yeah. Crazy, man.
That's
That's
badass.
just-
Yeah, it's just knowing your
Simple.
technology. I mean, it's the same thing with anything else. Instrument mics are completely different than vocal mics, and so forth
there
and
you
so
go.
on. And it's just knowing the right application for it. And in a home sense, I can see that our studio is a little more open air than other podcasts would rather be. But we put so much thought into putting all this crap on the walls, to make the sound where we wanted it. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're like, we don't want to feel stuffed in a box, man. We want a cool environment. So that's why we do what we did. And I understand that struggle of being in that soundproof room and then getting home and having all the little different nuances that you're just not used to.
Oh, yeah. It was a huge learning curve, man. And for the longest time, I was trying to be perfect, because my kids were home with me. So I didn't want any background noise. I wanted it to be a smooth transition. And that lasted about a week. I'd be like, oh, Noah, come on, man, Dad's working, And then after a while, I was like, I'd be in the middle of a break or something, and they would walk in, and I would stop what I was saying. I'd be like, what you gotta say? And then that just got, you had to make the content, dude. Like, my main thing is, I am such a normal dude. Radio found me, so I don't want people to think that I'm this bigger-than-life individual. I'm literally just a dude from the West Bank who, won a radio contest through 106.1 The Underground, and the people who were running the station at the time were like, yo, really like your on-stage swagger, like, have you ever done radio before? And I was like, no, or else I wouldn't be doing industrial inspection right now, And
I
then
have a radio.
Right, exactly.
I'm very proficient
I've
at programming
always
the stations alike.
Right. I've always been an avid radio listener, man, because there's just something about, like, a curated playlist with someone explaining to you how a song makes them feel, and it's just relatability, and that's I want to be as relatable as possible.
That's a legit DJ,
Exactly.
That's the art form
That's one thing I
itself.
do love about radio DJs is because when you listen to slot DJs, you hear a lot of their expression in what they're playing, right? So every now and again, you listen and then you're like, man, there's that deep cut from 1988 that you wasn't expecting, that nobody even know what the hell it was, but they knew the band, right? But they didn't know the song. And that's what I like too, is you'll hear some DJs, especially on classic rock, right? Those guys get stuck in that pocket where it's like, okay, Alice in Chains and then Skinner, and you can pick the song coming next, right?
Yeah.
And that happens, but it's the ones that really go through the motions of music, man. And I feel like you do that. Like I know y'all have to stay within a certain lane, but the vibe changes over season of your life, right? And that's what it's all about, is making people no matter what your outlet is for music or whatever your art form is, it's relating to people so that they can reciprocate back to you.
It's all about establishing that connection and holding that connection as much as possible. And even before radio, that's been my motto, man. You know, like the people that you want to keep around you, do what you can to keep them around. The people that you don't, man, just chat. You literally have one life to live, so make the best of it. Surround yourself with people who you want to surround yourself with, and just, like I said, I posted a status on Facebook the other day, just like you are literally in control of your own destiny. In a way, as
You must have just watched that new Mortal Kombat movie.
Man, that's another conversation, dude. That's a whole nother conversation. That'll change the vibe significantly. I grew up on that shit. I grew up on Mortal Kombat. So
Same.
So did we, and we loved it, man. Yeah. I hate to tell you, we loved it.
Yeah. No, honestly, dude, I feel like, all right, we're switching gears here, all right? The new character, like, I don't know.
Nobody likes him. But Tyler's very good at putting me in my place with stuff like this. And like, dude, I really hate the new character. And he said, in typical Tyler voice, you're supposed to hate him.
Well, he's there for that reason.
Yeah. Okay, well, I was right.
I disagree, man. They're trying to make him, like, at least what... He was the lead, but in Mortal Kombat 1, who was the lead? You have to argue to see the Liu Kang and Johnny Cage.
Right.
Yeah, because I even told him, I said the first time that I got the Frisance whenever in the movie is when Liu Kang came over the frickin' dune, and you see a silhouette, because you knew it was him just by the silhouette of him, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was like, yeah, this is a Liu Kang, and then no, it wasn't. It was this dude with this stupid power.
No, man, I do. Okay, look, Mortal Kombat has a huge cheesy element to it. It knows itself.
And I like that.
And I think that's great. And they kept true to it. And it didn't need to be anything else than what it was, besides badass and the CG. I mean, fuck, dude.
Yeah, but did you really need the random guy? Like, you really didn't need the random guy.
You didn't, but his power was pretty cool. I liked it.
What, his skin turned to like
metal
leather or whatever? Okay, I'm armor chest guy.
Why just his upper half? Like, if I'm an enemy, I'm going
sweep the leg, bro.
Oh, but now I get these like cool like crutch things with blades. Like, I don't even know what they were.
That's an instrument of destruction. If you
Other than that, though, I really enjoyed it.
I will say I need to watch it again because I've officially reached adulthood, because my buddy and I, who I grew up with, like, we watched the first two Mortal Kombat in the theater.
Right.
We were drinking wine. And so it's like, all right, watching Mortal Kombat, drinking wine. Back in the day, it was like, I don't know, what, frozen Coke and some popcorn. Like, we're adults now, bro. Yeah. So it was going down real easy. So I should watch it again sober.
I don't think so. Just love it the way it is. I did not watch it sober. 3 times.
I was saying the other day, I was like, it's not memorable. But I was like, wait, I just really drunk? That's why I don't remember it? So
no, it's not. I mean, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were absolutely the best. They were killer. Their characters are killer, and their actors are fucking amazing.
I just found it amazing that Scorpion, who is the best samurai in the freaking world, like the guy that the actual actor is the best samurai in the world, played the best samurai in the. How do you get more true to life than that?
And he comes from the depths of hell.
And he came from the depths of hell.
It's pretty phenomenal, I will say that. And the last thing we'll say about it, so we don't ruin any spoilers or anything, but they didn't show enough of Scorpion, if you ask me.
I agree.
The last 10 minutes?
Same.
10 minutes?
Yeah, kill off the new guy and bring Scorpion back.
Well, isn't it Scorpion's like, oh yeah, we don't give it
he
that away.
touched the blood on the blade, right? Is that what spawned Scorpion? So they were just waiting for that the whole time? He was whispering shit. Why couldn't he whisper, way early
when he showed himself in the mirror and be like, hey dude, the blood on the blade, go prick yourself with it.
Cap it.
Go fuck with that.
Nah, too easy.
I get it. I get the pumping it up for a sequel, and I love that. Hopefully there will be a sequel. Obviously there will be, showing at the very end what they showed the poster. But.
Right.
Well, supposedly the guy that was Sub-Zero already signed on for like 3 or 4 more movies. So it's supposed to, keep pumping out.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it would have been better if it would have been an HBO series.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed. 100%.
Same.
And just had it kept going. You would have never lost followers. You would
We're
have, it would
also
just kept
spoiled,
rolling.
dude. We're spoiled from Avengers and Marvel movies.
Right.
Like Endgame and Infinity War. That set the standard for me, for every movie moving forward. It had every element.
And you know what sucks is that the cancel culture hate on this movie right now is real because of there's and it's already over a couple days it just came out, and there's this generation of kids that's like screaming at this movie online. And it's only because they played the new Mortal Kombat games, right? And it's like, man, if you ain't played back from Mortal Kombat 1, you ain't got skin in the game on this one.
You ain't gonna.
You ain't gonna win this one, dude.
You're right. It's a massive reintroduction to a whole new demographic. I get that.
So do you agree that they should remake Super Street Fighter?
Yeah. 100%. Does Jean-Claude Van Damme have like a great grandson or something?
No, I don't. That's what I don't want.
No, you're right.
But I do want the chick from The Mandalorian to play Chun-Li again.
Oh.
The chick with Boba Fett is Chun-Li.
I never put those two together.
On the Dank Swamp Rebellion, Daniel Mary,
Dank Swamp
92.3,
Rebellion.
Gulf South Ground. We got it right here.
It's like you said that line before.
You nailed it, man. Damn, I appreciate that. Mind blown.
Yeah, so see,
Mind blown.
she's still like, she looks great, so she could play modern day Chun-Li, no problem.
I mean, she's definitely 20 years.
Yeah, but it would be
Chun-Li,
now.
though.
It would be now.
If you go that route,
Yeah.
I'll take that. But they're going to introduce some new characters. I'm warning you right now, bro. 20 years now.
Oh,
Come on.
know it. You know that big old Bob motherfucker's coming in.
Bob? There's a Bob?
Yeah, Bob was a beast. Yeah.
Wow.
Bob is a
I'm behind.
giant guy.
I bought them all the Street Fighters. You know, they
Yeah.
got that thing for the Switch. I have them all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get into that.
Bob's a big boy.
Ooh. I might have to start at the last one and work my way backwards.
Through Street Fighter?
Yeah,
I've never heard anyone approach a fighting game series that way. Like,
I will do it.
I'm gonna work my
You'll
way
be very
through.
sad. You'll be very sad once you reach the first one. You'll be like, how these are the graphics I have to deal with now?
Yeah.
After eating the filet mignon the whole time, you're just chewing on some cartilage, bro.
Yeah, but I'm that kind of guy. I work my way back to 8-bit.
You like some gristles with Stan, a little bit of
right.
gristle.
That's it, bro.
Wrong with
So
that.
yeah, man. So let our listeners know that we got Daniel Mary on the show, and it feels like you live in a world where you're in the analog radio world, and we're in the podcast digital world. What would you say is like your biggest difference between mass amount of people of listening, but between what you do and what, let's say, a podcast would be doing?
Freedom, first and foremost. Freedom. You don't have, you have the FCC regulating you, but they're not listening to every word you say like us. Like everything that I say on air goes into this database that can be accessed from anybody in the country with the right access. Like for instance, I've said fuck probably 3 times and it feels great.
On July 22nd at Champion Square, the concert event of the summer will take place. It's the Better Life 20th Anniversary Tour. 3 doors down with special guest Seether. Don't miss out on the Better Life in its entirety and all their greatest hits. Brought to you by Alt 92.3, Gulf South Grown.
No, but that's about it, man. And you say big audience. To be honest, I've never asked, and I never want to know how many people on average are listening. There's the data out there that backs that up, but I just want it to be me. And the way that I approach it on air is just one person. There's just one person listening.
That's interesting
And
approach.
that's interesting because I do the same because it's been a very long time since I've let Tyler even tell me what our ratings are. There was a point to where I knew that we had a certain listening field and a certain audience, and I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. And we got to the same point where, like, if it's one person listening, that's all that we care about. We'll do the show for one person. Because
always approach it like that. Yeah,
It's worth
always
it.
approach it like
Yeah.
that. I mean, there are ratings there it's different than the actual listener base, you know. I'm sure that's out there, but I've never been around it. I've seen the ratings. I've seen ratings jump and drop and stuff like that. So in a way, you always need to gauge yourself. And in any field, always gauge yourself, always see where you are now, what you can improve on, what you can take a step back on. Now, I've been lucky in my profession that, man, like, you know, I've been entertaining my whole life. Since I was 15 years old, I've been on some sort of stage with a microphone in my hand, and I've always had people in front of me that I can kind of bounce vibes off of. My first day in the studio ever, when I was for sure going to be on air, it was the strangest, ooh, give me some of that, bro. Can we do that?
You absolutely can do that.
Right now. It's the Dank swamp.
Keyword, baby.
So yeah, I mean, there's an obvious difference because there are a lot of moving parts in, like you said, like actual radio. Yeah, I have people from New York who work with Cumulus Media will hit up somebody in my department and say something, and they'll relay it to me, and I'm like, whoa, who's listening? Who's this guy and from where? And it's strange
everybody.
It makes it
Right,
special,
yeah.
right? Like when you're not so worried about crunching numbers, but you just doing your thing, and then you find out some really cool news about, you know, something going down. It's like, oh shit, this is a real thing that I'm doing.
How far does your syndication reach, though?
And I've been told from, we definitely go to Lafayette, but I've had people, you know, from Lafayette say that it's, while driving, I've had friends who have listened the whole entire time I was on air while they're driving from here to Texas, and they'll text me and be like, yo, dude, just lost signal, you know, whatever state it was.
Beaumont or some shit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a couple miles before Beaumont, but definitely Lafayette. And then Hickey, Mississippi, I believe they can pick us up over there, too.
So you got like a square radius.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's awesome.
It honestly, so what's crazy is our tower is in Vacherie.
Oh, shit,
yeah. It's not just our tower. Like, several stations kind of piggyback on the same tower. They have different levels and equipment that their own individuals have to go. What's crazy is, I don't even know if I can see this. Last year, somebody actually got injured on the tower, slipped. Like, it's something where he stomped on the wrong thing.
Yeah. And
we were basically knocked off air, except streaming on, alt923.com. We were knocked off air for a couple days.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
So they can get up there and fix it. It takes a day to get up there.
Yeah, you need a technician doing that.
Exactly.
Believe it or not, that's what I used to do for a living.
There you go. All right.
I actually did that all over Texas, and I was actually built a few stations in my day. They actually had one that got hit by a tornado, WKIT in Dallas, and me and my uncle rebuilt that thing, and it was pretty awesome. I ran 8 miles of cable in that place, so yeah, I understand the struggle with that shit because
crazy.
we've had our fair share of damage claims.
You're talking about WKIT.
Yeah.
I just made that up. I mean,
No,
like
it wasn't that though. It was more like WKIT.
Oh, the country station.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that, bro.
There's that
That's
honk.
Dallas, man.
There's the honk, baby.
The honky tonk. A little bit of honky tonk. Tell you what, guys, I got a ring light. And is this too much?
No, man, you're looking
You're
good,
good.
son. You're looking good. That dome looking radiant, son.
Oh.
Yeah.
About 3 days after shaving, you know?
Oh, dude, I don't even get that. This was from this morning.
That's the good ass
You're
pile,
looking
man.
fresh, bro.
Testosterone issues, man.
Anytime
I've been
hanging out
taking
with a
that
fellow
tea.
You don't have to call me that, dude.
microdosing some tea.
No, man, but the shrooms have been cool, though. The shrooms have been awesome. I
That's
love
something
it.
I've never done.
I started them the morning of 4:20 at 4:20 a.m.
Like
I set
ritualistically.
my alarm at 4 a.m. I got up. I made me some French press. I know that sounds kind of,
Oh, French press.
but I made some French press. And then I put the shrooms in the bottom of the French press and made me some real strong coffee. And then I rolled a blunt, and I've been floating ever since. It's been amazing. And I'm way more tolerant of people. You can ask him. I don't want to kill anybody right now.
It's kind of crazy. Like the level of hostility has gone a little further down, but the level of when can I talk to you on has gone up.
What you mean?
Like in a good way. I could talk to you on a real level now.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, hey, I got some opinions. Fuck your opinions. You're
not even a person. I'm not either. I hate you.
None of this is real.
Let's talk it out. I'll be the therapist. Come on. Welcome to Daniel Mary's therapy session on the Dank Swamp Rebellion. I'm Daniel Mary. Here we've got
I want to start
Tito
living as a gay woman. Straight up.
Hey, dude, do it.
All right, see,
Yeah,
that was
do
easy. I'm not paying this asshole $300 an hour.
What? Come on, man. All right, what about 263?
Deal.
All right, cool.
That is a deal.
This is Grovon Mayer from the Dank Swamp Rebellion podcast reminding you to stock up on your Elmer's CheeWees. Get you some of that. I'll tell you, the original's good now. The original's real good. I like me the barbecue one. I like the taco one. Bruh, I dip that in some ranch meat. They got the hot and spicy. They got the pizza. The pizza one's real good, man. And so is the green onion. And if you like a little something sweet after, get you some of that caramel popcorn. They ain't sleeping on that caramel popcorn. And remember, if it ain't Elmer, it ain't CheeWees. Elmer's quality snacks since 1946.
Oh, and don't forget about those seasonal flavors. This message was approved by Grovon Mayer. Thank you for listening to the Dank Swamp Rebellion podcast. Tune in Saturday for part 2 with D. Mary from Alt 92.3 Gulf South.